And we're live. Welcome to episode 567 of Middle of the Night Drama Live. Just kidding. I don't know what live this is, what number it is for Middle of the Night Lives on drama. But I just got done watching probably 6 videos. I can't remember the first girl's name, but I'll have it in the description box. I've watched Smokey Glow's video, Ready to Glare's video, Artfully Emily's video, which I think if you are wanting to put any input on this situation, you definitely need to watch Artfully Emily's video because also, before we even begin, trigger warning, there just needs to be a huge trigger warning before we even start talking about this. Sexual assault is a major topic in all of this, and so it's something that I think anybody who does a video on this needs to disclaim in the beginning. So if you're unaware of the situation, welcome back from the rock you've been under. Just kidding. But really, if you're unfamiliar with Creepshow Art, I was subscribed to her. I unsubscribed now, but I was subscribed to her. She is one of those creators that draws like digitally. I'm not sure of the correct term of that, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Draws digitally, and she started out doing like story times while she would draw. And she slowly but surely now she kind of talks about whatever she wants, but I would say 95% of her content is drama related, whether it has to do with an influencer or mainly just influencers, but she talks about drama. Anyways, she made a post, like a week and a half ago, saying that there were posts found. It was a big, long ass tweet, Instagram, whatever, of her saying, I've been hacked. Somebody has hacked my VPN, and there's a bunch of some spoof, and they've been posting on lolcow, which if you're unfamiliar with lolcow, I had no idea what the hell it was until all of this, but apparently it's a site, lolcow.farm. It's a site where you can, basically people just talk shit, and it's mostly about influencers. People just talk shit on it. So apparently she was saying that somebody had spoofed her URL, or like over and over again. And I don't know anything about that. I've had a stalker before, but it was like a real life stalker. He wouldn't have known anything online. But anywho, she was saying that somebody had gotten her information over every device, and because there was like several different accounts that were had come to the light that was her, supposedly. And she said that all of these different accounts over all these different devices was a hacker. And why she came out to say this was because there were community guidelines on the site, and she broke several of them. So on the site, you're not supposed to promote yourself or promote anything. She promoted all of her YouTube and Patreon, acting as someone else. You're not supposed to act as yourself. You're not supposed to talk about yourself in the third person, which she did countless amount of times. Again, I'm going to have videos linked in the description box that you need to watch on the subject. If you have any interest, if you haven't watched, you need to go watch. But she was also talking about countless other YouTubers. Ready to Glare, which I knew they were close and had like a personal relationship outside of YouTube. I think a lot of people knew that. She talks about Ready to Glare and a bunch of other YouTubers that I'm not familiar with. And I think everybody is just wanting to know like why, because now Creep Show Art saying, okay, well, her real name, what was it? Shannon. Shannon's her real name. She went to Twitter, I believe, and said, okay, well, I'm going to like go away until I can come back and try to prove all this. Well, then 3 days ago, Artfully Emily created a video. And this is where things are like, fuck. Okay, so this is a lot deeper than just lolcow. Artfully Emily uploads a video to YouTube 3 days ago and says that Shannon and her husband or boyfriend or whatever the situation is, Andrew, has been harassing, stalking, and just trying to ruin Emily, Artfully Emily's life for the better of a decade. If you haven't watched that video, that is a video that you need to go watch. Like, everything is articulated perfectly. She goes into major detail. Most of her receipts, if you're a person who like needs a lot of receipts for videos, most of her receipts are just receipt screenshots of Andrew and things Andrew's done, because it was all compiled information for her to give to like a private investigator or something like that. Sorry, I just got a message. But it was such a good video. And the main thing I want to talk about here tonight, and I think everybody's wondering, is like why? Why? I think I know why Andrew has put Emily through hell, and I think that that's that golden thing of, if I can't have her, nobody can, so I'm just going to ruin her life because she doesn't want to have anything to do with me. I'm pretty sure that's why Andrew's done that, which is disgusting. And Emily was so brave and courageous in her video, and she had the gusto of, anyways, it was just brilliant. But why, Shannon Creep Show Art, would you be friends with these people? What was the point? And you spoke in the third person and talked about herself, like talked shit about herself in the third person. I mean, don't get me wrong. She did go on to boast about herself. Not only that, but you also spoke so terribly about the LGBTQ plus community. I'm not even going to repeat the disgusting slurs that she used to describe people in the LGBTQ plus community, because it doesn't deserve repeating. It's disgusting. When you sit and you think about why people do shit, sometimes it's like, you almost drive yourself crazy, because it's really hard for someone who's not in that mindset to kind of indulge yourself in that mindset, to think, okay, well, what in the fuck could they possibly been trying to get out of this? And I understand, self-promotion. That's obvious. That's right. Okay. That's obvious. Okay. So you're going to talk shit about yourself, but also post the link to your fucking video. Get out of here. Give me a break. Fuck off. Like, I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking A. And then, of course, you're going to use the go-to thing. Oh, I've been hacked. I've been hacked. Yeah, I've been hacked. Somebody's hacked all my shit. But that doesn't even make sense. Why is somebody going to hack your shit to go and talk about YouTubers, right? On a site where the guidelines are so clear that if you break any of these guidelines, we're going to let everybody know the fuck you are. Why would a hacker would not do that? I'm just going to go ahead and tell you now. And over a string of all of your devices, like bitch, every device in your household is being used on locale for different accounts so that you can literally have a conversation with yourself. Like a full ass a whole thread conversation you've had with your own self. I'm just saying, bitches, that shit, all this just goes deep into, and it's just disturbing. I feel so bad for her subscribers because I couldn't imagine what, like, her true hard, people who really support her, what they're thinking right now. Because, and then her friends, like, I watched Ready to Glare's video, and you could just tell that she was just in such a place of, like, I read this on Twitter, and it's so true. It's really hard to grieve a person that's still alive. And when you lose a friend, that's exactly what's happening. If they're still, like, you're grieving the loss, like the death of someone who's still alive and breathing. I don't know. Ready to Glare's video really just hit me because I could see how she really wanted her friend to be innocent and wanted to see the truth in her friend. And isn't it crazy? If you haven't watched Ready to Glare's video, I'm sorry, there's going to be a couple spoiler alerts here, but apparently Shannon Creepshow Art sent Ready to Glare like a bouquet of flowers, like roses, like days before all this shit came to light. I'm just so confused. I'd never heard of locale in my life. Had anybody else ever heard of this site, locale.farm or whatever? I'm just so like, how much time in a day did you spend on that site? Like, were you texting your friend and then thought, okay, well, maybe I'll just go on the site and talk a bunch of shit about my friend? Like, they'll never figure out who I am, even though I'm breaking so many of the guidelines for the site. They're never going to find out who I am. And then they air out who you are. So you go to Twitter and Instagram and say, oh, by the way, guys, this isn't me. I've been hacked. As if the internet is not going to call you out. As if there's no one on the internet who works in technology and knows that there's just no possible way. I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts on this one. Have you watched the other videos? There's so many, but you obviously need to watch Artfully Emily's video. You obviously need to watch Ready to Glare's. Smoky Glow kind of does a rundown of all the good videos to watch. I referenced her video, so I'm going to link hers as well, and I'm going to link I'll link Smoky Glow's, and then in Smoky Glow's video, there's two videos linked underneath her video. That is amazing to watch, and I watched them. Let me see here. Hold on. I really want this YouTuber's name because the video was really good, and I need the name. up in this massive. Okay, that's caught up in this massive web of lies, and it. Okay. Omnia is the other YouTuber's name. Omnia. If you're familiar with Omnia, that is the other YouTuber who made 2 videos. They're really good. Now, Artfully Emily's video, y'all, is very long. It's like 2 hours long. I watched it in parts. So the first time I watched like 30 minutes, and then I went back and watched the remaining of the video. So if you need to watch it in parts, watch it in parts, but you need to watch the whole video. Every part of it is, you just need to watch it. And then Omnia's video is like a deep dive of all of the information. And there's two videos of Omnia's. So I'm going to have Ready to Glare linked. I'm going to have Smoky Glow linked. I'm going to have, and 2 videos of Omnia's linked in the description box. After this live is over, if you're unfamiliar of the situation and you need to catch up before you, then let me know what your thoughts are. Because I love you guys, and I love when we have a conversation of what our thoughts are of the drama that is currently going on the internet. And this one is weird, bitch. This one is weird, bitch. Like, we all knew Gabby Hanna wasn't going to take accountability. I mean, hello. We all knew Trisha Paytas was, that ship sinks, every now and then. We knew that, the glory of Trisha Paytas and everybody being on Trisha Paytas' side was not going to last forever. That girl just, but that's not what this video is about. We're not going to get into that right now. Well, she doesn't identify that way anymore, so never mind. I'll take that back. I woke up in the middle of the night and watched these videos, so you'll have to excuse me. I still love Trisha, and I hate that this has happened because it seems like 98% of the internet is turned against Trisha, and that's really sad to see. But anyways, this one's weird. This one's different because this is evil. This is conniving. This is manipulative. It's scary because if you watch Artfully Emily's video, then you know that they've been doing some really shady shit to Emily, mainly Andrew, but Shannon Creepshow Art does come into play. Not only that, but Shannon was like stealing all of Artfully Emily's content when she first started. And Emily did not know that Shannon was with her ex-boyfriend, Andrew. And Emily was like terrified for her life because Andrew had made comments with friends about how he got pleasure in the fact of thinking about going to like Columbine and like going to his school and banging his like whole class, all of his classmates. And like he talked about it in detail about wearing trench coats and all these things. And so she was fucking terrified, scared for her life, and used her as someone who is also in recovery, them using her recovery and her addiction against her when it came to jobs and other things like that, and threatening to, she got fired from a job because of them contacting her employer. It's disgusting. I couldn't imagine, coping with sobriety and staying sober, and then also worrying about if I'm going to be able to keep my fucking job because my ex and someone I don't even know is contacting people and they're threatening me like, oh my gosh. If you haven't watched Artfully Emily's video, go watch it. Leave this live and go watch it. But yeah, I am curious to know your guys' thoughts on the entire situation. I wanted to talk about it because I was up just now thinking about it. So I thought, well, why not just go on live on YouTube and talk about what I'm thinking about it and see what everybody else thinks. I love you guys. I hope y'all are having a fantastic week. It's almost over. It's almost the weekend. I will have a video going up tomorrow. It is something that is pretty relevant in my life right now. One of the reasons why I am awake at 2:15 in the morning is because of this. We have some paranormal activity going on in our new house. And yeah, anyways, we're going to talk about that. We're going to do some updates. Hee hee. But no, we're really going to do some updates. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go lay back down. I love you guys, and I'm very curious to know your guys' thoughts on this entire situation. Let me know. I love you guys, and I'll see you all next time.